Alright, you're on recording. Uh,
Look at this. This is one of my main pain points is this. I like that they have reflected surface on this, but it stands way too much out against the wall.
due to a lack of texture work?
Well, also there's no processing of the vision. You know how some of my vaunted, like, let's take the other world for example. That was a good world in my eyes because it looked good. It had coherence in the theme. Everything looked soft. I'm not saying
The
this
theme
world should
here
soften.
is well done, but the contrast between the textures is too sharp.
Well, here's one of my greatest points. It's out here. Come here.
Alright, let's see. Oh, the crab doesn't warp us across the map.
Looking down
geez.
from here. This is what I'm talking about. Is good. I like the look because I get you're going for a gothic Victorian influence. You nailed that aesthetic, but you failed to pull it all together. Because if you look at the trees in comparison to everything else, it's that real-time lighting that really ruins it. Because the trees look like they're made from a cartoon, and then you got the building that looks like it's meant with a higher texture.
Well, you've got different levels of tree textures used alongside one another.
Also, these textures are... Because the entire house is meant to be a dark influence, meant to be dark color. Then you got these way too bright green leaves popping it.
Well,
And
that's for those trees specifically. With some of the other ones, it works well.
Yeah, I mean, these other trees like that works, but these don't. And then the gold trim on the house, there shouldn't be any reflection on these. And if they are, there should be a muted reflection. More matte, not gloss.
Alright. What?
Because that's my main thing is everything looks good, but there's just too much gloss everywhere. Like, look at this. This is meant to be a carpet, but there's no
pure
carpet
reflection
texture.
as opposed to what you would see with actual metals, which is somewhat dulled.
Yeah, and like this marble texture is not horrible, but everything just feels like you just basically molded it from a piece of clay. This bed is good, but there's no sense of shadow in this area.
It's not that
I'm
there's
trying to
no
think of
sense of shadow, there's no sense of weight because of the lack of texture. There's great pattern and color choice, but there's no texture work that actually
It's
brings
also
the
shadow,
material
because
to
look for the
life.
window. Look at this. Look at that nice reflection out the window. Now, if they had like a little bit of sunbeams here, and some of this room was a little bit darker than this part,
You're talking about light balancing.
yeah,
Ah,
light
okay, I can see
balancing
it.
how, because the sun is clearly coming from that area, but there's no sense of balance, no sense of like, where is everything?
Everything is the same shade everywhere, despite the real-time lighting
Oh, so what's this
supposedly
carbon
casting lights.
fiber texture meant to be?
I don't think that's carbon fiber. I think that's supposed to be a weave and matte, and I don't mind it at all. I actually
Well,
quite
that
like
is
it.
typically what carbon fiber weave looks like, by the way.
Oh, lovely.
But
Oh,
here's
hey,
the
it connects
disparity.
up.
Here's the disparity. You have this, right? For most of the house, you have this kind of texture, but then you swap. Wait, there's no sense of connection. Like, wouldn't they think to keep all the same texture?
That's a design
everything.
choice, less so a flaw.
Well, because look at this. Most of the house is in this texture. I
Yeah.
get it for the bathrooms having this kind of diamond texture because it's the bathroom, so you want bigger things while you're taking a shit. But then I want you to keep that styling throughout the entire rest of the house, because look at this. Why would you have this style of wallpaper right next to this wall style?
Yeah, no, there are no popular world crafters, so I don't think they cared about that.
I know they're mostly nitpicks, but my biggest one is you
Why
have all
can't I
these
go through
nice little
here?
shadows from the real-time light. Let me see. Oh, I see what that's meant to be. It's meant to be a walled-off area for the downstairs. It's got all these really nice aesthetics. Like, I like these paintings, even though they could be AI generated.
I mean, they could
Why am
probably
I
be.
griping?
They could. I wouldn't be surprised if there's someone who wants to recreate like historically accurate versions of the housing, in which case it doesn't follow specific design trends, but rather things that
So
were.
I was rather taken by the description of the world. Love, come here.
Mm.
I love the description of the world, and the world portrait made it look pretty good, but Victorian cottage impresses with Gothic elegance and architectural sophistication. Its facade is made of dark brick, decorated with elegant stucco details, tall lancet windows, and decorative pediments. It was covered with steep slopes and topped with graceful chimneys, emphasizing the verticality of the structure. The entrance is decorated with an arched portal of carved decoration, giving the house a mysterious, almost mystical appearance. Framed by ancient wrought iron fence and surrounded by dense trees, the cottage seems to transfer into the atmosphere of the last century, preserving the spirit of sophistication, austerity, and hidden grandeur of the Victorian era. I don't feel any of that.
Okay, so yeah, this world was made by an architect type person who's not one for getting into texture work because that would be too much of a hassle for them, it looks like.
I mean, yeah, it could have been someone like an architect student, but my biggest thing is they have this grand sounding, you know, description of what the world is going to be
Come
like.
on, hun.
When I see it, I just see meh.
You see
I just
mid.
see a yeah, like some of the elements do not like belong here. Like, why would you have a modern looking speaker inside of this kind of spot?
Oh, let's not get into that level of nitpicky. Ay, ay, ay. That would just hurt my
Honestly, I'm
brain.
also now curious about the design choice of having a mountain this close. Because if they're going for a cliffside house, they could make this entire area just look dense with forest, and then have this back here look like ocean front property or a cliffside with some trees dotted everywhere. They nailed this though. This is good looking,
Well,
but
hun,
it just doesn't
I'm
fit.
willing to bet that they used a good chunk of pre-made assets for this and didn't create it all from scratch. They definitely put in some good effort, but some of the
I'm
details and
not
critiques
discounting
you're
that. I'm just
giving
saying there's a lot.
are some of the critiques and details you're going on about are kind of difficult for someone who's still getting into Blender and Unity to do, especially in terms of VR chat bullshit.
Let's see. Have they? Let's see. Hold on.
I'm gonna go explore a little
Oh,
bit.
they've made other worlds. This is not their first rodeo.
Well, that doesn't give you the right to hang them by the neck. Swear.
Honestly, I like the idea of the mountains being far away, but when you look at them, they're really close, but they don't give you a sense of scale. Now, if they were halved and then pushed way back, and you added more ocean, that would give it a sense of far away mountains.
Blah, 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 blah. You're comparing this
I'm
like it's a Wispy
hypercritical.
Woo world.
Well, because Wispy Woo knows how to do good looking worlds while keeping the theme solid. Like that Game Jam world that he made. that
I
sense
don't
of
want to
scale
go
that
into an
you-
example. What other worlds have they made that you're actually semi-interested in? So that way we can see progress over time by sorting it via upload date. Or
Let's
newest.
open up.
I know I'm hypercritical,
World.
but holy yeesh. Talk about ripping someone a new one.
I'm brutal. What can you expect?
I'm
I am unerringly brutal.
not arguing with you on that.
Okay. This world sounds interesting because I just looked for the VRCX log of their worlds in order.
Oh. Oh. Is this world before or after the one we're in?
This is their newest world.
Alright.
And this world was published earlier this year, and the name is Cemetery, Fertile of Silence. Virtual reality is capable of many things, including preserving memory. A cemetery is not just a place. This is a sacred place. We're created with respect and care for those who want to honor the memory of the departed. There's no rush, fuss, or noise here. Only silence, peace, and bright sadness, framed by an atmosphere of reflection and love. Cemetery is a virtual cemetery where every visitor can stop, remember a loved one, a friend, or someone who left a mark on his life. The world offers a unique opportunity to express their feelings, preserve your memory beyond time and space. The design of this world's designed in a strict but sophisticated style. Bank your paths, majestic trees, soft diffused light, and light fog create an atmosphere of peace. And where you can hear the rustle of leaves and the sound of nature.
They're definitely
Enhancing
someone
privacy
passionate
and
about setting the scene. Honestly, I worry that all that harsh criticism is gonna hurt someone. Because though some of it is valid, if it just shuts down and doesn't say what they did right, then someone may stop creating, and I don't want to see that happen. You deserve to see keep growing and improving if they can. And if they can't, they deserve to still enjoy the product of what they do. Oh. Oh. Hmm. Oh well.
oh, that is Cyrillic alphabet, which could and say there's someone that uses Cyrillic alphabet. Interesting.
Hmm. Honestly, for all your sharp critiques, they did a decent job of the last world. It's just style clash
Hey,
and the
I
lack
know
of textures.
I rip into them. I'm not saying the world was bad. I'm saying that there could be more.
And sometimes it's better to use the carrot than the stick.
Okay, so
Ay, ay, ay.
I expected a monochrome world with
Is this their
splashes of
first
color.
world or?
This is about midway. This is their from like top to bottom. This is one of their older worlds. Like this was released like earlier this year on January.
Alright. And what's their oldest world start date for? Upload date.
Let's see. I can't see by upload.
Alright,
I know
so
there's. Let's
just
see by created. Okay, so okay, now let's see by created. Cottage was not the latest one. That was the latest updated.
Yeah.
But this one was like 3 worlds before it.
All right, and
But
then
from the picture of this, I'll drop it afterwards. This one was Aquarium. We could check it out. That is, but when I heard of Cemetery World, I thought grayscale because that's the way the picture portrayed. Grayscale, dark, foreboding, peaceful.
well, they definitely
Little bit of
got
fog.
they've definitely got a good aesthetic here. It may not be what you were expecting, but it's not bad.
I was expecting something from what they said. The way they made it seem was a dark, foreboding world, ancient trees, little splashes of color.
Something
I
akin
was
to
not
the world
expecting
we postponed to last night. That's an
exactly.
unfair comparison, but fair. Fair enough.
I was looking for
What is
something that
that? Hmm.
I was looking for something good. Like I was looking because whenever I hear certain worlds and I see certain pictures, I expect a certain level of adherence
And
to
you're
that.
spoiled. Blah, 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 blah.
I'm not spoiled in any way.
Hey hon, when I look at a world, I try not to see every single thing it did wrong, but instead what the heart of it was, so that way I can appreciate that heart while still acknowledging the reality of how far their efforts went. Because let's be real here, architecturally, spot on.
Hey, I'm playing the bad cop here, playing the good cop.
I don't want to play good cop, I just want to appreciate the world.
In that case of how does the world look? Like, if we just
Decent.
take away from, I like the layout. The world before was good. This world is good. I like the layout of how it looks like there's a temple here with little plots. I mean, it could be a little bit more congested because that's how cemeteries are usually.
Well, that's compared to,
But
like, different types anyways.
but I like the aesthetic choice of these little spots dotted around.
Yeah, they intended to make this a relaxed atmosphere, so that should be a good reason as to why they're dotted around instead of clumped close together. It's not a large-scale public cemetery, it's more of a small-scale local one.
Unfortunately, the description didn't give that idea to me.
Fair enough. So you're criticizing them on their presentation and description not matching up with what they
What
actually
draws me
give.
into a world, what draws me into the world is the thumbnail. How are you trying to present the world to people? Are you trying to say this is a dark, foreboding world? Are you saying this is gonna be a horror world? Are you gonna say this is a nice, chill, relax? Your description of the world, does it say that it's gonna be much more foreboding and isolating? Is it gonna be a world where you want to hang with people? And for
Alright.
me, the presumption upon looking at the thumbnail and the description, I was expecting not very much color. The only colors I was expecting was for flowers, and the rest would be in dark shades. Like this would be a
You
much
were
more
looking for
darker green.
contrast with spots of color in there as to signify emotional significance.
I was looking for because everything's dark, and I was hoping like okay, because the picture of the world showed an angel statue, very monochromatic. There was no color in there, so I was expecting a very monochromatic, foreboding still welcoming world with a little bit of fog hanging around. As I said, like fog,
Han, just
rain.
drop down the world we saw yesterday so that way they can understand what you're referencing. Because otherwise, you're just giving
Well,
it.
hmm,
What?
hmm,
What?
hmm,
Hmm.
hmm.
Okay, now you're just being silly. Little
This is
shit.
where I think
Boop.
this is where they took the picture. No, they took the picture like one of these things because the way it looked was like this kind of one of those statues over there. Like this statue, it showed this, but no color, no bright blue sky.
Okay.
So I was hoping, because how everything looks, I was hoping that it would be mostly dead trees. I was expecting a dark sky, not a bright blue, partly cloudy at sunset.
Oh. Looks like an actual grave.
Oh.
Not just aesthetic.
Too bad I can't read. I can sort of read this, but I don't know if this is Ukrainian, Russian, or some other alphabet that uses Cyrillic.
Hmm.
1988 to 2023. I was not expecting an actual memorial in this world. Hey, love, can you try and use an image translator to see what that says?
I don't feel like it right now.
There. On the one hand, I feel bad for ripping into the world that looks like it's going to be a memorial to someone, but on the other hand, okay, there's no real time lighting, but it's just a stylistic clash, you know?
Eh. Some people can pull it off, some people can't. Alright, so what's their earliest world?
Look at this. That's what I was looking at. It's something like that, you know? I was looking for a dark gothic, not.
Wait, one moment. I want to check the angle of this photo. Alright. Then if I were to go over here. Good alternate
It's not
thumbnail.
the same one. It's an
I know
actual
it's not
photo
the
that they
same
had
one.
to
I'm
take.
not thinking about the same one. I'm thinking of alternate thumbnail using a picture from in the world.
Oh, I mean, I could make a fucking image out of this world. No problem. One of the ones
And
I see.
back over here.
This.
And boop.
No.
Not everything's a comparison game.
I know, but I was just saying, I already had multiple ideas for thumbnails that show off this world. Like from here, you just take a screen, like a picture from here. You line up the statue, that statue, and the building, and you have all the little bits of color without including the gate. And you got this nice, beautiful shot. If you
Angled
shoot it
up
a
or
little bit
down?
low. Here, I'll just.
No. Doing it yourself isn't communicating, hun.
I know, I'm just trying to get the idea based on how I thought about this. So if
Alright.
I hit the anchor,
No, from
world.
or a brighter tone, you could easily look up from below. For a darker tone, you could easily look down from like on top of the gate.
So right here, if you see this little camera,
I
this is
see the
about where I
camera.
would take the photo.
Alright.
Because with the way I have it is
Can I ask
central
you?
focus is right here. Well,
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you finish and then I'll ask you to put down the hammer.
so it would be this is central focus because this is clearly the main building. But then I also include the sides because it shows all the little graves. Not all of them because you want to intrigue and pull them in, wonder what the rest of the world's about. But also hides the entrance so that we are not really seeing the incongruency of the video player. And it gives enough of an idea of the world.
Alright. Well. I just wanted to ask you to put down the hammer because you have previously used that metaphor before to talk about how you go about things. So which world is their oldest and which world is their newest?
Let's see, is it over here? No, none of these worlds are part of their newest. So their oldest one is called Egypt, Leave the Sands. That might explain why the worlds are not the greatest. They're a musician.
Blah blah.
So this is a music world. The oldest one is a music world. Experience the musical atmosphere of tracks in the VR chat. So the first world that they had looks like many was in a visual music thing. So you can have their music playing and experience what they had in mind. Their
Alright.
newest one is an aquarium.
Alright.
Since you're recording, I would say not the music one.
Not the music one.
Okay, let's do the aquarium.
Honestly, like a nice aesthetic world.
Now this better.
Good aesthetic, good fit, balance of everything.
Better, way better, because it also goes back to that whole like that thing I was telling you about, that contrasting styles. And that first one we saw, the cottage world, there was a lot of contrast in that world. That you had these extremely bright reflective surfaces mixed with flat textures. It just didn't fit. But here, the rocks don't look out of place, because this looks like your sitting area. There's
This looks
actually a
like
good.
there's actually texture to, well, it's got a texture map to the visual texture.
Oh, we're also inside of a bubble.
Yep.
Everything is in its place. Even though there's a little bit of space here and there, it's not totally out of place. Because you could say that this is like a little biosphere. next to the planet, or that you're just floating in a biosphere. It's not a bad world.
Yep. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, what's their second oldest world that doesn't have music?
All their old ones looks like is about their music.
Alright.
The
Now,
I was
sometimes
curious
I
about this world is called. Go ahead.
sometimes I feel like you go from using a chisel to just swinging a hammer when I say I'm now recording.
Cause I'm brutal.
Ah.
Now this world caught my eye because of its use of color. Its world name is Diverge, but when I looked up closer, it says die on the verge of something.
Alright.
It's a fascinating. I'm kind of curious if it's a horror world or not. Oh, over here. Look.
Okay. Oh, that world. I saw it, but wasn't really gonna touch it. Looks horror. Mm-hmm. Die on the verge. Oh, I'm gonna have to censor some nipples.
Why were my boobs out?
I was, you'd have no culling on the inside of you that turns the inside of your body black or some other color, so yeah, no, I saw nipples.
So this is a PlayStation style horror world. Do you want to do this with other people?
Uh, since how often do we actually
Oh,
get the group together?
I just noticed when you're far away, you get the pixelation.
Oh, that's a nice touch.
Yeah, when you get up close, it kind of gets better. That's adorable.
Well.
Stay right there.
Go to the
What's funny is
opposite
when you go
side
into
of the room.
when you go into the shadow, all I can still see are your eyes. So it's just cute.
Oh, well. Yeah, that's nice stylization. Now you stay there, in the corner. Back up into the corner. There we go.
Rawr.
Of all the things you had to say.
What? I couldn't do that.
Well. Ah, va, 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 va,
Rawr.
va, va, va.
Rawr. Rawr. Or should do
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Rawr.
So, are you wanting to get the group together to play this some other time then?
Yeah, maybe we still gotta go for the Project Fest world as well.
Alright. You'll be the one bookmarking this then.
Let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see. That just sounds hilarious. Glazed gremlins. Like, what do you do? Put them in icing?
What in the absolute fuck?
Because whenever I hear glazed, I think of like glazed donuts. So
What in the absolute fuck? Different author. I would hope.
because apparently this is a group.
Different author, hun?
Yeah.
Alright.
I was scrolling. It's by this person right here.
Alright.
Heh.
Not bad aesthetic, I'm gonna be real.
Honestly, I like it. It's if I have to go back to saying, this world, great. The lighting looks fine. The green, black, and a little bit of yellowish all make it look and feel like you're underwater or like on a beach, and even like these couches don't look horrible because it's part of the aesthetic.
I wish streamer mode would auto mute video players.
Oh hell yeah! Give me a hit of this.
She found her home.
Honestly, I like these beanbag chairs. They're really good. Yeah, this world serviceable. If this is meant for like a group, I mean, hey, this looks fine.
So basically, the only thing you were angry about with that one world was that it overhyped its expectations and then fell flat. You'd prefer
Yeah,
a
you could
world
say
that
that because
undersells itself and then turns out to be great over a world that oversells itself just to turn out shit.
there's a reason why I have a list of worlds called Cuddle and Chill, and only certain worlds get into that spot. Like the one we were in, Dream Shift. I liked that world because it was a nice atmosphere. You could swap up it. I liked the Hexahedron Estate because it was a nice world and they had a good aesthetic.
Alright. I'm gonna end the recording now.
Mom.